AI voice? That is the big question. Voice AI, they say it that way too, is out there saying that it can make you some money. Well, our job is to find out, and we're going to do it in this video. Let me show you how all of this started. Now, all of this started when I got an email. Now, y'all know I love getting emails because in those emails could be an absolute gold mine. I kid you not. I mean a gold mine of opportunity, signals, things that make us go, wait a minute, is there opportunity there? If somebody's emailing you and they're saying, hey, buy this, I go, wait a minute, let me go find out what that is. So let me show you how all this started. This all started when I got this email right here. Let me show you. So this is the email that I got. And right in here, it says this, right? Can you see that all right? Y'all want me to put it differently? Let me put it like this. See if it'll show you better. All right, so let's look at this, right? This is the email that I got. I got this email. Now, I am on a lot of people's newsletters, and I love it. I have my own newsletter called Monetize Your Life News. It's over there on Beehive. And I tell you, I love sending out newsletters, telling people and sharing with you all these different ways that we can earn a living for ourselves, right? So, but this one right here, when it hit my email, I thought, wait a minute, voice AI, what are they talking about? So I went into it. Now I'm going to show you exactly how I go into figuring out if this thing can make me money. And then I will go out and say, okay, cool. What do I have to create next to go get that money? If it's out there, if they're saying this, look at this, look at this. Here's the article. It says AI voice market is tripling. Oh my gosh. That makes my ears ring. So it says to $34 billion by 2030. VCs already dumped 6.6 billion into voice startups. This is the key right here, y'all. Voice startups. Startups. You mean not Alexa, not Siri, not something that's already out there? No, voice startups. Okay, I'm cool with that. 11 Labs, we've heard about that, says it owns 70 to 80% of the market because, of course they do. They were the first. 11 Labs, I was like, what is this? People are actually going over here? Yes. Voice actors, sorry, you're out of work. And 11 Labs became a thing. So look at this. Now, here's another thing. Speaking is 3 times faster than typing. So when we think about voice, we think about what are we going to do with it? Literally, I was on Perplexity today and I just got tired of typing. I was standing up at the stand-up desk right here and I was typing. I thought, man, this is whack. I need to be able to say this faster, right? So then I turned on dictate. Now you start seeing the trend. Eventually you get to the point where it's like, you know what? I can't type to save my life. I could type 26 words a minute and that's it. That's what I topped out at. And that's just not efficient. So now I do something different. I use my voice. So now they're jumping into this market, right? So look at this. So let's go over and let's check out the source. Let's find out exactly where they got this information from. Now I'm going to pull it up in a different format so y'all can see it a little bit better. I put it into a PDF because here's what you find. Sometimes when you go over to these other sites and you try to open up the PDF, or I'm sorry, you try to open up the website, it's a no-go. So, okay, so here's what I did. I went over and I checked it out. I'm going to stop sharing this screen real quick. Let's see if I got it here. It's in this window here. There it is. So watch this. Oh, that's not the one I want. This is the one I wanted. All right, I'll get it. So anyway, I'm going to show you here in a minute. Oracle loses. That's not the one I want. I want this window. Here it is. So check this out. This is the article that talked about it. Voice-based software is not new. Nope. But it's getting popular. So look at this. AI is changing all of that. Siri and now pack the punch. Now, I've been getting notes from Alexa saying, hey, would you like to try the Alexa new whatever? And I'm like, yeah, I'd like to try it. It says, well, the equipment that you have won't get it done. So now I got to go buy. So what are they encouraging you to do? Buy more stuff. Okay, fine. No harm, no foul. But look at this. It says, as AI voice enabled AI gets smarter and more human sounding, consumers will lap it up. Okay, isn't that what we want to know? First, the stuff is getting better and consumers are starting to get into it. Now, we also find that people are dumping money into it. We just saw that 6.6 billion is going into voice AI. And now our question is, how are we going to get how are we going to get paid from this? How are we going to go out there and create things that take advantage of it? That's what we want to look at. And I'm going to show you this here in a second. I'm going to show you how I would start off and how I literally am already starting along that line to say, what can I create right now that can put a couple dollars in my pocket? Now, again, y'all know how I do. My disclaimer is that this is for educational purposes only. This is not financial advice. I am telling you this because sometimes people think that this stuff is typical, implied, or guaranteed. It is not, certainly isn't promised. It is me showing you this stuff so that you can say, wait, if all of the indications are showing that there's a possibility that money can be made, then our job, me and you, is to go out there, create things to capture that money. It's like saying, hey, there's going to be a money rain shower tomorrow. Go get your barrels. So would we go get barrels? Yes. I'm going to get some barrels and I'm going to fill it up with that money rain. Okay. Y'all get it. So it's telling us the story here. So we got the article that starts getting us indications, but I don't just trust articles, right? I'll go a little bit deeper. So I'm going to show you how I go deeper. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you what I've started to build to, again, capture some of those dollars that's supposed to be raining down in the voice AI arena. All right. So look at this. It's telling us, hey, as they get smarter, we're going to lap it up. Great, great, great. I like to hear that. Boom, boom, boom. So they're giving us some background on the stuff. Now, I just look at it like this. I go, wham, I want to see the money. Where's the money at? Look at this. It's saying 34 billion. Okay, great. By 2030, 6.6 billion already in startups in 2025. Yes, I love that. All right. Now we got PitchBook. PitchBook is where companies go to pitch their ideas. Think about that for a minute. They're pitching their ideas before they get there. If we can go over to PitchBook and kind of take an eyeball in, could we get ahead of the game? Every head should bow yes. Anyway, so here it is. Now it's also talking about who's going to be doing what in this particular space, right? Then it goes into the movie Her. I don't care about all that. I just want to know, okay, Apple's jumping in. They got live translation. So what is that going to do to some of the the language companies? So if I'm invested in that, I would say, okay, maybe I better pull out of that because I'll have something that can live translate. I don't need to know the language. That's the kind of tips and tricks that we need to be on so that we can get ahead of this. Now, look at this. Another one that says, another big question is who loses in the audio bots as the audio bots rise. So now they're talking about Sam Altman and that Ive guy, the guy that is really behind all the beautiful stuff over at Apple, right? It says, look at this. Wall Street Journal has reported that the pair hope to reduce users' screen time, and it follows that social media apps like TikTok, Instagram, WhatsApp may suffer. Wait, what? If they're saying that they're going to create stuff, you see what they're doing? They're giving you tips. They're giving you indications of where stuff is going before it gets there. Our job, create things along the way. So if somebody says we're going to build a highway and it's going to go west, and they start building a highway, what is our job to do? Well, I'm going to have some water for the builders. I'm going to have if I had some dirt, I'd say I got some extra dirt for you, or whatever it is, right? So we start providing the things that are going to help the people building stuff. That's the tip. That's the key. That's gem drop number 8,000. Oh, whatever. All right. So here's some more. So they go into the news and then they get into it a little bit more. They give you some places you can go to check this out. But we right now should have enough to say, okay, I've got an indication that AI voice could potentially make me money. And you should be saying the same thing. So now what we do is we start going over to somewhere else. That's where we go. We say, okay, great. That's what this said, but I need some more indications, which is fine. That's what we should be doing. We should be asking deeper questions. So watch what I do next. So next, I say, okay, Great. I'm going to go to my handy dandy search tool and I'm going to find out if they can tell me more, right? So I go over to one of my tools that I can search out everything and it says, well, AI voice, I put in just United States that right now out there on Google, because all this does is ride on Google's API. You don't even have to know what that means. Just know that they're riding on Google's API. In other words, they're getting information from them. So this is what it finds out. AI voice 5,400 times a month. Somebody searching for that. Boom. We're in the money, baby. If we're in the money, that means we should be getting some music for this, right? Let's play some music. I gotta play some music to get this going. So this is what we start doing. We're starting to really see how it works for us. Y'all down? All right, that's too loud. Yeah, down. All right. Now, look what we got. So far, so good, right? So far, so good. We're finding out AI voice. They're telling me AI voice is a thing. I'm starting to believe it, but I ain't all the way there yet. More indication. So now I'm going to search out to see if anybody else is searching. I will search to see if others, and if they are, it's another indication that people are looking to the tune of 5,400 times a month just in the United States. Then we got AI voice generator. Wait, people are searching this out 90,500 times? Well, let's just think about this very reason. If 90,500 times somebody's searching for stuff like this, shouldn't I have a barrel out there? Y'all hear me before to catch some of that money rain? I'm just saying. So we're getting more indications. Look at this. People are looking for AI voice generators free, AI voice to text speech stuff. So they're searching for it. That is the deal. Find out what's happening. And I got this tool. If you look in the description field, I think I wasn't able to do it today, but in the description field, I would eventually leave the um the link to this tool. But also, look at this. It's telling me all the places where they're talking about this free AI voice generator, 11 Lab, Voice AI, free text to speech, Merc. So what that also does is gives us a chance, and this is what I like to do. I like to look at these and I go, all these companies are into it. So I may even get another tip. Go, well, wait a minute, maybe my money guy, my investor guy, or if you do it yourself, maybe you should be an investor in it because you just got an indication that it's coming and we as consumers are going to eat it up. So we got these indications. Okay. Now y'all know me, vendors and a belt. Let's go towards safety. Let's find out if it's being talked about more. So I go over to Reddit. So we go over to Reddit. Even everybody's over there on Reddit talking about something. So you're starting to see people are talking about it. Look at this. You got upvotes, people talking about this stuff, and I go, okay, cool. Now Reddit's on jam. They got communities, all of that. Now, if I'm you and I just created a product, where would I be trying to sell the product? Don't let you just come in here and start parachuting in with your offers. But you find out what they're talking about, what the kind of stuff they're saying, you to see who's in the group, and then we find them and run ads towards them. Putting you up on game now? Yeah. Yeah. So, okay, that's another one. So we go over here. We got, okay, Reddit's talking a little bit about something. Okay, I see that that's an indication. Great, great, great. Let me see if I can go to another spot that shows me more indication. Before you build, remember, before you build anything, the main thing that we do before we build anything is to see if it's so. One of the indications, another indication is this. This right here is already wiki. Now, WikiHow is just a place where people go to find out how to do stuff. And if people are needing to learn how to do stuff, what does that mean? That's what you are. Problem solvers. This is why I've been coming out here for 26 days straight, talking about this exact thing so that we can help you get out there and build that. Y'all know I talk about this. I know I've been on the milk crates talking about this. That the whole idea is this: ideas, create content. I'm doing right now so that we can create a digital product that we can put those digital products out there on different places, books, world, hit all of these kinds of things. You are right now in the 30-day challenge. You got 5 more days to be challenged to create. I told you now, I'll be right there with you like I am right now, showing you first. You want a little additional help. Now check this out. Like I should give you the opportunity. Put it on the ticker. So if you want to connect with me, just get on my calendar. Okay, I put it up there on the top. There it is. Look at this. So we're going to be doing that. But I wanted to go back over to WikiHow. I wanted to show you how I use WikiHow to get like another tip to find out what's going on with this thing. First, I want to get everybody's running ads. Running ads. So I would look at this and go, okay, create fabric. I've heard of it before. Noise. I think I heard about that before. Keystone. Then I go, well, people having trouble with this trying to find out. In WikiHow, how do you sing AI voice? So let's take that. 24,231 views updated a week ago. That means people have been on WikiHow saying, hey, how do I use AI singing voice generator? So what are you creating? PDFs, checklists, how-tos, all of that. Now I'm going to show you a how-to I started creating with this taking right through it. Here's how I got the idea. It came by way of an email. I said, oh, here. That's why you should be looking for emails. I got a whole course on it. How to turn annoying inbox emails into cash in your pocket. The only way you can get that course is DM. I haven't made it live, but it's free. So if you want it, you just have to DM me and say, bro, send me that course. It comes with a price tag, but it's not too bad. You know how to do it. So look at this. How to use this is an indicator that 24,231 people are searching for it. They got a problem. So that problem. All right. Great. So now we got stuff that have showed us that this is a thing. Okay. Next. Now we're going to pull in some of our AI. Now when we pull in our AI, we ask it questions. Watch this. Go over to one of my AI. And I says, okay, now this is what I need you to get. Give me this. I know I spell better than that. You don't have to spell right. Scour the internet and find whatever. Scour the internet and find more info about this. Then let's discuss ways to monetize that guy. I think about this stuff all the time. Yeah, I came on the scene. Oh, sure. Plus a thinking engine helps you think about stuff and you share it with others. You can do it right now. Do it over in the community, monetize in the community. Another way that the only way you can get into that is if you DM me and I send you the link and you can go to private form. I haven't started to make that a paid community, but it will be soon. I'm going to literally charge $19.93 a month to be in that community because I'll be doing this, dropping things like this in with me and going further in what I've been showing for free, for the most part, other than coffee. I've been buying coffee left and right. We had a guy today send me stuff. He said that if you want pricing, right? Yep. Okay, so look at this. This is what Perplexity is saying about what that article has spoke to. It says, yep, I like that. 34 billion, yep, that's correct. It says, look, here's some of your growth drivers. So it's literally telling us, it's writing, it's giving us everything that we need to build our digital product, to build our checklists, or we build our micro facts, micro and mini courses, and all of that. It's telling us everything. So now we look at this as the information that helps us decide. We no longer, I'm telling you, we gotta stop guessing. Stop guessing. We no longer guess what to do. We only use the facts. We follow the facts. And what is fact? Data. Data is the facts. So data, right? Data, right? Data, right? Data, right? Wherever. So now we got this. And then this last part, I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna show you what I started building as a result of this, just to get you ahead of it. Explosion in the LLM, large language model, powered conversational agents. This is telling you. So if we need indication of what to do, this is our indication. Contact centers, automating calls with AI agents. That means a lot of people lost their jobs. We go, okay, if that was me, I'm going to build an agent so that I can be, I don't have to worry about the job anymore because I can build this agent that helps people that got rid of the job that I was in if you were an agent, if you were a contact person. Accessibility, voice interfaces in cars, smart devices, and wearables. Now imagine this: you're going down the road and you have a conversation with who? Your your LLM, your large language models. In other words, ChatGPT. You're just talking. Hey, should I do this? Should I do this? That is the most beautiful thing. I'm telling you, man. I got a something that I'm writing. This entrepreneurial loneliness is loneliness in general. I kid you not, because now we got the better or worse. We have these, LLMs that we can talk to, talk back. This is kind of freaky. They will literally talk back to you. First, they even talk back to you like you know, I love you. Hey, buddy. It reminds you, I'm a machine. I can't be in love with you, but it kind of spurs you on a little bit. So here's what we need to do. Start thinking about how we're going to create content around this, right? I'm going to show you a couple of things that I do right away. I will leave all of the tips and the tools that I use. I literally talk about them first. I just leave them in most typically. I'll leave them in the description field over at YouTube. For some reason, it's not connected. My interface. I wasn't able to leave it beforehand, so I may have to go back and jump in. So we're going to create content around voice cloning, multilingual dubbing, audio ads, podcast tools, tons of possibilities. So it's telling us what to do. Then it's saying some segments. Call center is going to need help. Healthcare is going to need help. I got a good friend of mine actually who's in the hospital. Now, if you're listening, I want you to hear this very clearly. That we now have agents that people call. They don't always get us. They can get our voice clone until our voice clone can talk to us. So sometimes just hearing the voice, if you get a ping and it says, "Hey, you just got a call," and that becomes an opportunity to put into your system. The system. If you think about any business, if it has no system, then the business is fragile. One of the best ways to start building a system is you say, okay, from the beginning to the end, what is my operating procedure? Literally. It's like somebody is with you every day and you just watch what you do. And then you just do it. Or doing it by yourself, you just document. And up in the morning, I make a phone call. Come up to see you regenerate. These are SOPs that you can start creating begins to create systems. Now, when you say, well, here's the help I need, because I couldn't get somebody to answer the phone all the time, is we're going to use all of these AI agents and we put them to be in between the customer and us. Okay, that's one little tip. So we got all these different things. So now what I start asking is I start going into it now. It's telling me that it's going to be making it good. I've seen it 4 or 5 times. Then I says, well, what are some of the lanes where I can potentially get in there? I do make money. It says one, you can be a creator facing tools and services. You can be a voice AI for business, small business, education, info products about voice AI. So what did I pick? I know it. I says I like that one. Why? Because I can create it one time and sell it. So info products about voice AI. That's one of the simplest things that we can do. I like to be able to create something in less than a day. Less than 4 hours. From 8 o'clock in the morning after my coffee, noon. I'm probably gonna take a nap. Whatever it is, 2 hour bath. So y'all see what I'm doing here. I'm literally walking you down as to how we found out about the idea, how we fact checked it, and we created based on the fact, not feeling. Then we start getting into, okay, what is the quickest thing that I can create that starts testing whether I can start making cash? Again, talk about this making cash because it's educational purposes. Educational purposes only, not financial advice. This is not typical implied guarantee to read promise that because guess what? If I don't know if this is you, but you've been listening to me for 26 days and have done nothing, that's what I'm talking about. Now I know you're waiting for the right time to flip the switch, right? That's fine. Maybe it happens on the 31st day. You're like, well, and he was doing this thing for 31 days. He's not doing it. I really like doing it. Early today, I was sitting over there, standing there, and I was doing another. Hmm, I'm actually testing another live tool. What I do with those tools, I love. I like testing them. Say, okay, so here's what you talked about: infrastructure, micro SaaS wrappers around existing API. Now that might be a little bit up here for me, but I get it. I understand. Micro SaaS wrapper around OpenAI's API, Anthropic's API, DeepSeek's API. You get it? So wrap it around it. That's a move, but not the move I want to make. So first thing, it says giving your background. It already knows the kind of stuff I talk about. Contents, making funnels, affiliates, some dev. That's what I like to build. So it says based on that, it's telling me what you should do. Then it goes into some stuff. I said, stop this. I'm no math genius. So stop this. So anyway, it goes into talking about the math. I understand that, this right here is literally telling you what is this compounding at an annual growth. 18 to 20% this field is growing at. 18 to 20%. You're in the bank making 18 to 20%. It's telling you a whole area is making 18 to 20%. We should be in this area creating stuff because it's telling us, right? So I go in there and I says, okay, great, I'm down. I know the whole deal. If I can get another idea, and this other idea allows me to make content. That's what I'm doing right now. Content. Then eventually I'm going to put it out there in some form or fashion. I'm going to say, hey, listen, I've been 10 toes down, 8 fingers and 2 thumbs down in this space. Here's what I discovered. Here's 30 days of information. Y'all see how I get down. So you may be thinking, oh my gosh, imposter syndrome may be hitting you. It's like, I'm not technical. I'm not necessarily technical, but I learned to do what I need to do to get stuff done. Digging it, to do what I need to do to get stuff done. Is it easy? No. There was times where I'm sitting there like, I don't understand. I got past it. And now I'm over here. teaching it, talking about it. That can be you. No. So we've discovered so far, boom, where we got the idea, saw an email, got curious about it, started researching it in different areas, see if it's got any legs, if it's possible that we can make money from this. I guarantee it's promise education, not financial advice. Can we potentially make money from it? That's it. Sometimes all we need to see is potential. You know, we made bigger decisions on potential. Now, and then check it. Trust my own feelings. So let's go check it. Let's see what's out there. Let's see if people are searching. Let's see if people are asking questions. Let's see if people got problems discovered. Oh my gosh. Yes, they do. So we've looked it up into our different areas. Now what we need to do is go over build, right? We're going to build things as a result of it. That's one of the key things. We got to make sure that we build. And I mean build like a boss. I don't play around when it comes to that. So one of the things I'm going to do next is I'm going to build out. So I build out a little bit of a PowerPoint. Right? Here's my PowerPoint. So I start building this out because I want to be able to use this later to sell it, to give it away, to put my affiliate links in, to make money in a variety of ways. I'm now taking all of the information I got and putting it down into a slide deck format. And I put this slide deck in multiple first. I do literally like sometimes I'll do a voiceover. Sometimes I'll do a voiceover. I'm doing right now. Hey, voice AI market, huge growth. Look at this, 34 billion, 6 billion investment, 22% growth. Now imagine this. I've just taken a slide that was just standing, sitting in that voice. So can you do the same thing? Now I want to share with you that yes, you can dream. I don't care if you're 88 years old. You can talk about something in the years you've experienced. Somebody listening might be going, "Who I'm talking about?" Right? I'm saying that my 86-year-old mother-in-law created. And all I did was sit with her and says, "Tell me about this." Passage from the Bible. She boom, went in. I'm telling you, she was in, y'all. And I recorded it and it was created. It's available. And it's just coming from what she already knows, already loves, already can talk about, already can add rich stories. Same with you right now, where you're sitting. I've been seeing Tony, let's learn AI. I'm like, stop learning it and start earning from it. We understand their game. They want to get you in. You know, no shit. No shit. Tony Robbins. He's a boss. So, but at the same time, bring it down, man. I remember a friend of mine said once, she says, they got to bring those cookies down to the table. I was like, "So she says, yeah, bring the cookies down to the table." And I immediately got it. Because sometimes, up here, you don't know what people are talking about. Right now, you may go, we talking about, hopefully in this 26 days so far, we've been able to figure out, see the game. It's changing every day because it's a new thing. The game itself, rules themselves. Yeah, realism. We create. Now, every day I've been trying to show you something new, bringing another tool. Like, my gosh, this is another tool. Yep, because I'm telling you, that there's multiple ways for us to go out there and try. It's money. I don't like to say try, but in this particular case, because we're also I guarantee you one promise. Say I'm trying. Call to action, try. Get it there. Make it happen. Look at this. So I'm doing a PowerPoint. So that's what I would do, right? I'm gonna start jumping out there, looking at where the money's at. What are we gonna do? Come up with a title: "Make Money with Voice AI: 7 Simple Ways to Get Paid Fast." Now, that's what you want to do. That's what you hope to do. That's what I'm going through these kinds of pieces of information for. Then I go into a little bit of what voice AI is. So imagine this. I'm using this as a means to make the call. Here's voice AI. You've never heard of it. You may have heard of Alexa, you may have heard of Siri, you may have heard of some things on the phone. But people aren't making real money. They're throwing money at 6.6 billion after this technology. I'm suggesting that we get your money down, you put it out, and then that money starts raining in, and you find the means by which to get some. We do it typically in this particular fashion, creating content, creating things. We do it by creating content. We start creating content. We then go out and make offers. If you've created some content from your context, like whatever you do, create content around that. How does that look? It's you saying, here's what I'm finding in my industry. Here's what's new. Here's how I overcome. Here's what I continue to overcome. Here's what's struggling. Here's what still needs to be worked on. So now all you're doing is basically documenting and trying to solve your You solve your own problem because you created a solution around it because it was bugging you and now you says, let me see if I can grab this tool off the shelf and fix my problem. And if you can, you then share it and you put a price on it and you ask people to buy it. You make your offer. That's what I call offer to. That's all this is right now. Hopefully you've been able to see from the beginning to the end, something from soup to nuts. I never understood that. Soup to nuts, nuts to soup. But from my dad used to say something a little bit more direct. From the beginning to the end, how you get the idea, how you validate the idea, how you then start creating around it, how you start putting it out there. Is that not the things that I talk about in my framework? Learn, create, launch, and get paid, right? That framework is everything. We just learned something. Now it's time for you to create something so that you can launch something, so that you can position yourself to get paid. That's what this is all about. 26 days of it. I'm doing 30 days because I'll probably do a 150 day epic. You gotta see that 31 days showing you how. Hopefully, you've been able to pick up some of this and go, I'm ready. I'm already creating. If that's the case, in the description for if you see this on if you see this on YouTube, in the description for it, you can already be nuts. Oh my God, people are going crazy over them. So send it to more people. That's my hope. That's what I hope that you got. But remember, I said here, it's only for those of you ready to put all of those ideas of yours to use. Make money. That's the hope. And results are not to quantify it. We do this with the idea that we create digital assets. Man. Digital asset, digital asset, digital asset, digital asset. You've seen this before. It's like seeds on the ground. And you go, what's a seed? And you pass it up because you don't eat seeds. And a bird says, pass it the seed. The bird comes down, gets the seed, eats the stuff. People are stepping over. I want you to pick up future path. Now,